are players on the protesting field. Watch this. You see her? She works with Karen Shaw, the previous No Kings rally. This is her making the signs for Rise and Resist in their little print shop. Yes, I'm looking into this print shop. She protests whatever is on the schedule.
Guys.
CrossroadsIRL.com.
Yeah, no,
What's that?
Yeah,
all right, so let me lay this out, okay? Nate is the guy on the left. All right, I'm going to hide the chat. Just give me a second. Let me hide the chat so you can see him. So Wade is this guy on the left, all right? And he's crashing the meeting, the pre-protest meeting that the paid protesters are having. Essentially, Democrats can't have a protest if they don't pay people to show up and have the protest. So let's see what he does here.
Oh, okay. But I don't know.
Oh no, I'm just press asking questions.
Yeah, I think no. But no, it's there. I don't know.
Okay, so they had a full panic and just talked over each other. Now this woman did the scripted right-wing troll line, which I guess they must have forgotten to pick up their signs, because that's exactly what they did to me last time. And before that, a different paid protester with the exact same sign followed me around the Take Down Tesla protest. So who are these people really? Keep watching.
I'm here to marshal and keep people safe. That's my job here today, and I'm just going to do my job.
What do you mean by marshal?
We help traffic. We help people with the traffic. We help cars redirect, help bike messengers.
Okay.
We're helping people be safe on the streets.
Does that mean you guys are working with the NYPD?
Yes. We talked to them.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. That's interesting. But is there a briefing before, you guys work with the
NYPD?
Yeah. So how do they know that you're out there marshaling with them?
They're not blind.
And neither am I. This is you calling ICE thugs, and with a $50,000 bounty on ICE agents, you have blood on your hands. This is you taking it a step further and calling them the Gestapo. Back again.
The same lady claiming that she's just there and is not organized. Look at her.
A different protest, and again and again. The company she works for is Rise.
Wow.
They are one of the nonprofits receiving a step further and calling
the company's name is what?
Again at a different protest, and again and again. The company she works for is Rise and Resist. They are one of the nonprofits receiving a portion of the $7.6 million from George Soros, and were
boom. Look at that. Look at that. Hold on, let me ease backwards. Jeez, look at that. I keep saying this phrase, and I'm going to keep saying it. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. It's like when we went through the interview that we just watched. I've seen this pattern and I just can't unsee it. Whenever it plays out, it's almost like I know what they're about to do.
From George Soros, and were responsible for the Take Down Tesla protests that often resulted in vandalism.
Yeah.
They claim that all of their events are non-violent.
Meanwhile, how come there's a lot of violence during all those events?
Which is odd, because there's hundreds of pictures of their protesters getting arrested.
Yeah.
What they love to do is organize sit-ins at Trump Tower, and they're politely escorted out of the building and released from custody almost instantly, which means that the supposed king is quite forgiving with people trespassing his family's home.
Exactly.
The link to Rise and Resist goes straight through Act Blue. Now it's really her players on the protesting field. Watch this. You see her? She works with Karen Shaw, the previous No Kings rally. This is her making the signs for Rise and Resist in their little print shop. Yes, I'm looking into this print shop. She protests whatever is on the schedule.
Guys, I'm gonna break protocol. Head on over to Nate Friedman's X account. He has a YouTube account. When I clip this out for the separate feed, I'm going to just put the link in the show notes. So if you're watching the clip, the link to his channel and his profile should be in the show note. Please subscribe, follow him, like his video, tell him I sent you. This guy does amazing work.
Back again in front of the courthouse, asking to abolish ICE.
Jeez.
Take the sides of the vicious, violent criminals that have been deported by ICE. She wants to, quote, free them all, and she's doing this sit-in again inside of Trump's home. The president is very aware of paid protesting now. Now I saved the best for last with this group, because look at proof, this guy here. He is a professional protester. Here he is,
Wow.
the infamous Karen Kazoo lady. You know how they frequently work in teams. Now, what is concerning about this guy in particular is not just that he is a professional protester, but that he is an election worker. His official start date was January.
Ooh. So now you have activists working as election workers. Wow.
2020. According to his LinkedIn, he is a director of architecture and engineering at New York City. And according to governorsalaries.com, he's receiving an annual wage of $100,000. The question is he protesting on the taxpayer's dime?
Yeah.
Casimir took part in the famous paid protester group photo that I've exposed. See the Karen Kazoo lady here? And of course, Stuart Waldman, who was on the board of Rise and Resist. No social media that I could find, but here he is on his friend's Instagram, and he's clearly labeled in the caption. According to Casimir's LinkedIn, he is also a Columbia University alum, and here he is at an alumni event. Casimir has donated to a fund that was established to provide legal assistance and financial support to those who get arrested at a protest. So he's spending his money wisely, and as a graduate of Columbia, I'm sure he's proud of what his alma mater is up to these days. Next up, I ran into a woman with a guillotine poster at the peaceful protest.
Yeah. This is going to show up on the segments where we talk about the violence in, the violent rhetoric during the protest. This is amazing work, man. This is amazing work. Wow. Let me look at the chat. Oh, geez. Okay, so proof that liberalism is a mental disorder. I agree with you, Wade. Ray says, George shouldn't have been let out, to be honest. I'm Republican. Well, we'll talk about that when we start going through the comments, because I don't want to take away from this, but that's something that you need to think about. How many years had he been in jail and so on? And it is the president's right to commute sentences. And you know what? When Democrats do it, mainstream media conveniently just brushes it under the rug. So I don't think we should dwell on that, but it's something to talk about. So Ray, I'll talk about it. I'd rather go to work and make money than protest. It's crazy. Maybe they have too much time on their hands. Many of them are homeless. Many of them are organized. Many of them are professional protesters. Like, they get paid to protest. Over the next 3 years, the balance of Trump's administration, we are going to see a ton of protests. We're going to see more of these No Kings protests, because I think that they don't have any other option. All they can do is just do more of the same thing that they've been doing. The only messaging that Democrats currently have is hate Trump. All right. So I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon. So you're right. They have tons of time on their hands. All right. So let me see. All right, so let's look at, I'm going to hide the chat wall, okay, so you can see this clearly. I'm going to play this because I found it interesting what he had to say.
If you have a No Kings rally in 2,700 places with 7 million protesters and the so-called fascist government in charge, the only response to it is 2 insulting memes. That was it. That the entire pushback to 7 million people demanding that the Constitution be followed was, oh, here's a funny meme. Nothing else. Because you know where you can't have 7 million people running around protesting? No kings.
No kings.
Anywhere there's a king.
Yep.
If you had a king, you'd not be doing that.
Yep.
That's for sure. You wouldn't be doing any of that.
Yep.
So, and then it got funnier because apparently some decision was made, and I don't know by whom or why, to hand out lots of American flags.
Okay.
What do you think when you see a crowd of people with
Hold on. I'm going to rewind. I said that I didn't see any American flags, but this was like, they basically figured, if we're going to look legitimate, let's hand out flags so that we don't look obviously anti-American, so that we can own these guys that said that we hate America. Oh man, it's amazing.
Flags. Don't you think they're Republicans? So somehow it was 100% peaceful, which I compliment them on, 100% peaceful. And they were carrying American flags, and they were promoting constitutional rights. Am I wrong that they just held a Republican rally?
I don't think so.
Peaceful, obey the Constitution. It was a MAGA event, especially because it was senior citizens.
Oh man.
The fact that people got paid for organizing this is hilarious, because what exactly did they get paid for? To promote the virtues of the other side? Have you heard of any Republican who was put out or somehow offended or somehow had a big problem with the No Kings thing? I have not heard of one Republican who had any problem with it at all, or even cared if it happened. I looked at it and I thought, oh, looks like people are getting together over this whole support the Constitution and wave the American flag thing. Maybe that's a good sign. So I don't know what they thought they would accomplish, but it definitely didn't remove Trump from office.
Nope.
If that's what they're hoping for.
The thing, and Scott Adams, great content from him too. If you can, go over to his channel and profile and like and follow. Let him know I sent you. So one of the things that I said I enjoyed the most about the No Kings rally was you had all of these people who believed the same thing all in one place. This was meant to be the highest concentration of progressives since the DNC rallies for the presidential elections. All right. So this is meant to be like some of the biggest concentration of progressives. This is where you sit with them and ask them questions. What do you really believe? Why are you doing this? And you're going to hear some of the most outlandish responses. Of course, it's sad to watch, but you can't unsee it. So here's one of these progressives, okay? She's holding a sign that says, "Say no to kings." And let's hear if she understands why she's protesting.
No King's Day.
And why specifically are you out supporting No King's Day?
I think protest is important.
Why are you protesting?
How much time do you have?
Couple minutes. And what's the main reason you're out here protesting President Trump?
I agree with a lot of the decisions that are being made.
Is there any decision in particular you disagree with?
Okay, so I would start with, I don't even think it's appropriate for me to have this interview.
So what brings you out today?
Typical responses. Let's get some more. Here's someone that might, out of the entire crowd, you might find someone who has something decent to say that will get you thinking to say, maybe Trump really is a king.
Voter ID is racist, yeah? Like, should you need an ID to vote?
No, I don't think so, no.
Is it racist that CVS asks you for an ID to buy Sudafed?
Well, I think that there are certain people that should not be allowed to buy Sudafed, so I think it's a good idea.
So it's more important that you use an ID to buy Sudafed, but not to vote for the person that runs this country?
I'm not exactly sure.
Wade, come on. Wade says she's on 2 brain cells life support. Come on. Let's be nice. Let's be nice. People, I was speaking with my friend and I told him that most of these people have been hypnotized by mainstream media. They've been hypnotized and they can't essentially think beyond, I hate Trump and I will do everything in my power to get him out of office. They're essentially brainwashed. Okay, so I don't know, but maybe you might be right about the brain cells thing. I don't know. Oh, you guys aren't seeing the chat, so that's Wade. So Wade is leaving his commentary. All right. So guys, if you're watching, please let's know your thoughts in the chat because I enjoy exchanging these ideas with you guys in the chat. Okay, let's talk about. Let's see now. Look. If we decided to go through the internet and go through all of the man on the street interviews where people are being asked, why are you protesting? Why are you saying no kings? All right, we'll be here for the rest of the year. I guarantee you. And 99% of the footage will be cringe at best.
We're out here at the No Kings protest and we're asking all the important questions.
Such as, if Trump was elected, how exactly is he a king?
Because he is trying to take control of everything. Like his checks and balances are not working, so he is just trying to completely disregard the Constitution.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of amendments have been kind of overcome, like in a way that they're not supposed to be.
Yeah, which amendments specifically?
The first one, freedom of protesting.
What? You're protesting. It wasn't overrun or overruled. There's a problem, a rising problem, and I think it's gotten more obvious. Low information voters. These are people who don't even know what the Constitution says. She's trying to talk about the Constitution of the United States. She's a citizen. She can't even call out which constitutional amendments she's trying to talk about. Is it the First Amendment, Second Amendment? Which one? She couldn't say.
I would say that it's because even though he was elected, I agree, due process, he got what he got elected fairly, sure, but he's doing things that make him a king, like he's taking away, civil rights.
How?
That's a great question. I don't particularly think he's a king. It's how people are viewing him as.
Actively.
Okay, I think she was self-aware. And I think there are people like her who simply know that there's no argument to some of the things that are being pushed against Donald Trump, but they have to stand with the Democrats and protest Donald Trump to make him look weak so that they can win the next election. So there are people who are like her. They kind of don't use the mainstream media talking points, but they go along in order to get the agenda of the Democrat Party, which is win more elections. There are people that are just Democrats. They vote blue no matter who,
Switching the levers of power in order to subvert elections.
And what does that mean?
Things such as trouble coming up with words.
Yep. They surely have their arguments together. They know why they're out there protesting President Trump. Okay, here's another one. Okay, let's go. Oh boy. Someone went into the comments of the community post where I announced the live stream and said, the No Kings protest wasn't a flop. And I was like, well, okay. Let's see if that, because when you look at a protest now the protest is meant to drive home the argument. What arguments were they driving home? Let's see what those arguments are. And if they're not able to drive home their argument, then it was actually a flop. If at least now, not every protest will end up with the protesters getting what they're protesting for. However, the protest is meant to bring visibility to the merits of their argument. So if you call the average protester to say, why are you out here protesting? The average protester should be able to articulate the principle that they are protesting about and articulate the argument and be a great ambassador for that idea. We didn't see that, in any of the videos so far. So let's see if we find something reasonable here.
What has President Trump done to make him a monarch?
He started to take control and do illegal things and that are not within his power. So that's pretty much what makes a person a monarch. They take complete control even though they shouldn't have it. What
illegal things has he done?
Come here. Everything that he
Wait, I know you're about to say something.
Or get elected. Every single thing since he's gotten into office.
So deporting illegal immigrants, is that illegal?
Deporting illegal immigrants, if they're here peacefully, yes.
What?
If they're illegally here, though, if they came illegally?
If they came here illegally? I believe we're a country that stands for Lady Liberty. It said, give me your tired, give me everybody you can possibly bring into the United States, and it doesn't say ship them back out. It says welcome.
Awesome. Any issues in particular that you really disagree with Trump on?
No, because you're just baiting me. Have a nice day.
I was just asking.
It's sad that this is the kind of people that you run into. We're going through these videos and we're talking and we're reviewing them. But many times I experience secondhand embarrassment for these guys. Like, you can't even articulate your points. You can't even tell us why you're protesting. And when you're pushed only slightly, you run away. You can't even articulate the reasons for your protest. It's sad to watch. All right. It's sad to watch. Nancy Pelosi did a publicity stunt. All right. So this is a Benny Johnson video. We're going to watch it. She decided that she was going to, do one of her ripping something apart stunts like she did, during President Trump's State of the Union address during the first term, where President Trump had just given an address and she was in the back ripping these guys have been so cringe. All right. They've been so cringe for the last 10 years. It's not even funny anymore. And all they do is simply let everyone else know that they're unhinged. They don't have policy arguments. All they want is power. And if somebody else takes away their power, they do everything to make sure that the United States doesn't work the way it should. And it's just not something that I like to see. Okay, the chat. Where it says, talking about the lady that he says has 2 brain cells. She's obtuse. That is me being nice. Okay, I would not like to see you when you are really not nice, Wade. Okay, so let's watch this.
The capacity for Democrats to self-own these days has to be studied.
It's amazing.
The video that Nancy Pelosi posted for her No Kings protest. Looks like it was filmed at her nursing home. And she's trying to snap a plastic crown. But what you'll notice is
the jump cut.
They can't snap that crown. They have to do a very messy jump cut for the crown snap here.
Gonna tear up the crown.
And after this, Nancy Pelosi locked the comments on the post. What does that mean? That means that Nancy Pelosi doesn't want to hear from all of you.
No freedom of speech there.
What royalty would do by royal decree. They'd tell you to be silent and not make fun of me. Nancy Pelosi doesn't want you to notice the fact that she's been in politics, serving in Congress for nearly 40 years.
Look at that.
Different years. Nancy Pelosi has been in Congress longer than I've been alive. Nancy Pelosi is also from an aristocratic, nepotistic family. She's a Nepo baby. Her dad was a big-time Democrat kingmaker from Baltimore. Nancy Pelosi inherited her office and all of her money and all of her power, just like a king would. And Nancy Pelosi, of course, has enriched herself like a king or queen. She's worth $300 million. How's that possible, given the fact that she only makes like $100,000 a year? Even in all the many years of her service in Congress, that doesn't add up to really like anything close to her net worth. Oh, well, she does it through insider trading, meaning that Nancy Pelosi can just go make money out of thin air the way that a king would increase their treasury by stealing from the poor and giving to the rich. So reverse Robin Hood here. Nancy Pelosi is, in fact, the queen, the king that she so despises. She embodies everything wrong with American politics. It really has become like a royal family. Her, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, all of the old and diseased that stay and literally die in office because they're so old. It is much like royalty. And more importantly, the average term of a king in England was 18 years throughout the entire English.
And she's been in for 40.
Was between 18 and 20 years. So Nancy Pelosi has ruled twice as long as a royal monarch.
Wow.
Would rule in merry old England with a crown that she can't snap.
That's amazing to know. It's amazing.
Problem.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has only served in office for 4.5 years. Nancy Pelosi served for 40. You tell me.
Who's the real king? Yep. That's the question. That's the question. The cognitive dissonance where people who have been in Congress all their lives, who've been senators for over 30 years, stepping up to say that Donald Trump is acting like a king. It's funny. It's hilarious to watch. It's hilarious to watch, you know. And when they bring up all these arguments, it's funny that it points back to them.
Subscribe.
Thanks for watching, liking, and sharing this video. Please subscribe, leave a super thank, and join my membership to keep me doing this. A huge thank you to my supporters listed on the screen. Thank you for your donations and membership.
Thanks for watching.